the violent turns that this protest has taken?
I think that we wouldn't be here if, it's really easy to look at spectacle and to look at like, oh my God, people are breaking windows, but we really wouldn't be here if the insidiousness of violent rhetoric and violent politics and violent actions of white supremacists wasn't upon us all the time in insidious ways that don't just have to do with this presidency. This has been going on in this country for a really long time, and now we're just seeing it all come up from the under, and we're here because we've known about it. We want change, and so yeah, we can spend all day talking about the one small fire, one car going up in flames, but what about people who are dying every single day because we don't have a government that fights for the lives of the people?
So you think it's okay? You think it's violence begets violence, or you think that this group should be violent in response to what you're saying? Or
that's not what I'm saying. I don't think. Violence does beget violence, and I wish that we could just sit down around the table and have a symposium, and everybody walks out with what they want. But that's not how it works. When we ask for change, we don't get it. When people of color ask for change, they don't get it. They don't get reparations. They don't get anything. And so then things get crazy. And you can't blame violent protests for the incredible amounts of violence, thousands of years of violence that has been plaguing this planet. You can't say, oh, it's just because of this, or it's just this isolated incident. Yeah, I wish that we wouldn't be out here in the streets with fires going up in flames and with smoke bombs being thrown at people, but it's not like we're the ones who started it, We're not the ones who asked for it.
So do you think it's okay to be violent during this protest?
How do I answer? That's a really complicated question. I think that if violent action is being brought upon you, self-defense is okay.
Yeah.
I think that bringing attention, it depends on how you define violence, really. Do I think that, Trump supporters should be punching other people and other people should be punching Trump supporters? No. But if if a Trump supporter starts something and you have to protect yourself, you have to protect yourself. If you're trying to set something on fire to draw attention to the horrific history of racism that this country is built upon, yeah, it's a fire,
So you think that setting that SUV on fire was okay?
I don't know much about who set the SUV on fire and how that sort of came about. I didn't see it. I was all the way in the park when that started happening, so I don't know whether it was specifically somebody came up and was like, okay, I'm going to set this SUV on fire, or whether it started out of a bigger issue. So I can't answer that without knowing more information.
Is there something else you'd like to add about, how you're feeling right now as this on the first day of the Donald Trump presidency here in America?
I feel really inspired to see so many people, so many of my brothers and sisters, my queer brothers and sisters, standing up together for our people. I feel inspired by the amount of people who are looking for change and are looking to organize and make change happen. And I also feel, frankly, really sad because I am an immigrant and I'm from Ukraine. And
You're from the Ukraine?
Yeah. My mom and I moved here so that we wouldn't have to be living in a country with a different criteria for totalitarian violence. And now we're here, and it's, it's a different criteria for totalitarian violence, but it's still here. It's just different. It's a different kind of violence.
You think that we have a totalitarian situation on our hands here in the United States?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because totalitarianism rises out of the separation of the personal and political. So that's not from me, that's from Hannah Arendt. So essentially when you can't appear in the world with difference and be respected for your difference, and you have violent acts happening against you, or you're not given your basic human rights just for any kind of difference that you might bear, be it skin color, be it your sexual orientation, your gender identity, matters become political right away, and so you're unable to separate between your personal life, like who you sleep with, for example, or like how you look, right? If you're African American and you look different from white people, you're not able to separate those things, and so your personal life becomes political, and that is the definition for totalitarianism.
And you think that a Donald Trump presidency is going to make that somehow worse?
I mean, yes.
Why is that?
Because of all of his rhetoric, his xenophobia, his anti-Semitism, his racism, his overt racism, his overt misogyny. These are not even things that you need to sort of really look for. It's been in his debate speeches. It's been in everything that he says. came out of the woodworks from under sort of the declining middle class of workers that are all in their like 60s and 50s and 70s, and he was speaking straight to them. And so we're sort of retrograding because he's speaking to a group of people who's still alive, who are willing to vote him in and think that he's going to make America great again. But America's never been great. It's never been great for most people.
We have a question from the audience. Russell Minthorn is asking, by protesting, what do you expect to accomplish?
I think that first and foremost, what we want to accomplish is we want to be together and we want to not feel so alone in our struggles. We want to say we are here and we're not going anywhere, and we're going to fight for our lives, for the lives of the people that we care about. And we are here to organize and to talk with each other and learn new information. And yeah, organize. I think that's the number one priority. And also to show the new administration that we are here, we're not going anywhere, and tear gas is not going to, scare us away.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'm wondering if off camera I can get your contact information in case I want to follow up.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, audience, I'm just going to grab her contact info off camera to protect her identity, obviously. In the meantime, you can look in this direction. My other phone died, and that's how I was taking down people's info. Do you have a So everyone, we're here at the protest, the protest against Donald Trump in Washington, D.C., just hours after he was inaugurated as the new president of the United States of America. These protests have ebbed and flowed. Some people are protesting peacefully, others have engaged in vandalism. Earlier, SUV was on fire. Some protesters broke through the windows and set it on fire. We've seen some conversations between Trump supporters and people who are against Trump. We saw one conversation that was as peaceful as it was pretty peaceful. There was some shouting, but no violence of any kind. We've seen grandmothers gathered here with their granddaughters and their daughters. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that young woman is originally from Ukraine. And she's worried that the United States could become more fascist because of some of the rhetoric used in the political sphere right now. Hi, would you be interested in speaking with the New York Times live audience, sir?
No, I wouldn't.
No, not interested. What about you, sir? In the background, there's actually a band playing. There's so many different... It's very chaotic. There's so many different scenes here. There's the police line, pepper spray, some smoke bombs, like this young woman was saying, rubber bullets. Sometimes things go on fire. Some people are peacefully standing here. There are some bystanders who are just curious. I wanted to see what's going on. There's a band in the background. Some people sitting up in the trees. It's not organized. It's very chaotic. Oh, one of my colleagues is here. There's a very strong odor of marijuana in the air. Just for all of you who are watching live and can't smell. That sign says, even with Russia's help. Oops. Even with Russia's help, Trump lost. A lot of press here. Again, getting pictures from this police line. We have some people here from France. Hi. Are you reporters from France?
We are filmmakers.
Oh, filmmakers from France. Would you be interested in telling us what you think about... I'm with the New York Times, and we have a live audience on Facebook. Would you be interested in telling us how you feel? And what are your thoughts as foreigners from France of what's going on here? It'd be interesting to get your perspective. perspective? We've heard from a lot of Americans.
He could do it very well. Cipia,
Mr. Rion. Okay.
interview, you want to do it?
All right, so these are some French filmmakers. Is it okay if I show your some French filmmakers who are here at the Donald Trump protest? And hi, I'm Deborah Casa. I'm a reporter with the New York Times. We're live on our Facebook page.
Cool.
And I heard some French, and I thought it'd be interesting to hear your perspective. We've spoken with so many Americans out here at the protest on what their thoughts are. What do you think as a foreigner from France? Do you live in France currently?
Yeah, I think it's crazy because what happened with Trump, you know, the racism and the way he is talking to the people is very similar to the far right in France. You know, Marine Le Pen, she is like the far right leader, and she's also pro-Putin. She's also saying the same stupid things, racism. So it's very strange to see that what's happening here now with Trump is very similar to what we have in France, the far right.
Can we turn this way just so I don't get the audio of the...
Of course.
And so you think that what's happening here is similar to what's happening in France?
Yeah, exactly.
There's some elections coming up soon in France.
Yeah, in 2017, exactly. So let's see what's happening. I think she's not going to win, but it's, you know, it's a shock because we have the Brexit in the UK. We have Trump now. Putin is very strong. So I think he is like now kind of leader of the world. So yeah, it's pretty scary. Everything can happen now in 2017. Hopefully he's not going to win, but
I've heard from other French. I have some friends from France who don't believe that Marine Le Pen could ever win. But what are your thoughts now at this point?
I think we can't believe that she can win, but yeah, it's like Trump. We couldn't believe that he was going to win, and he was winning. So yeah, maybe it's going to happen. We don't know. We don't know. We have to take care, actually. I think it's good to protest. It's good to be here and just say, okay, guys, it can happen everywhere. So just take care.
And what is it that's happened exactly? What do you mean by that it can happen everywhere? I'm guessing you're not a Trump fan.
Yeah, I think the racism is terrible. I think trying to divide people to get elected is the worst thing you can do. I think I'm a big fan of Mandela, actually. I went a lot in South Africa, and I see how we can unite country after decades of violence, of apartheid. And he was a great man, you know, and it's so easy to divide people to get elected. It's so dangerous also, because people take it seriously, then they can do what they want, they feel that they can be racist, they can attack people, they can be violent, and yeah, so, I mean, it's a big responsibility to be a leader in a country, so, yeah, it's good to choose a good leader to get inspired, like Obama, you know, I think it was something very inspiring, so.
I see.
At least.
And can you tell us your name?
Yeah, I'm Cyprien Clément Delmas. Yeah, I'm a French filmmaker, and we are actually shooting a project in 16mm called Intrusion, and it's about what's happening here from our perspective, from our point of view.
What do you mean by what's happening here? Like what's happening today?
Yeah, what's happening now in the US actually. It's called Intrusion because we think that the violence that you can hear in the speeches, you need to see it. So we try to show this violence in the speech and make it visual. And so that's why we are here today. It's, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, madame.
So that was a French filmmaker giving his thoughts on the protests, the election, and what it could possibly mean for upcoming elections now in France. If any of you have any specific questions or want me to talk to anyone in particular, if you want me to head over to the band, which is over there in the other corner of the square, let me know. So if you're watching this on television, this is what's going on. It's a you can be in one section of the protest and you'll have that front line view of the police officers, the riot police and the protesters. In one small corner, you'll see some masked people trying to make some mayhem, trying to do something, trying to vandalize something or trying to do something violent. In other corners, you have bystanders, filmmakers on one one side, many, many journalists, as you can see, sometimes people with intriguing signs. Hi, sir. How are you? Would you be interested in talking to the New York Times live audience on Facebook?
Sure.
Hi.
Hi there.
So can you tell us, what is the sign all about?
Well, it's a three-parter. The first that you can see here is a middle finger flipping you off with some pulsating lightning bolts to really give it a thriving effect.
Yes.
You can flip it around, and then you get fascism does not equal freedom. And then I can be not my president. I am from New York, and so I've been really active in the protesting there. So I had to be here for the inauguration because that's the culmination of what we've been working towards. It started out very peaceful. We marched from Union Station here, but then the police, I feel like they rowdied us up. And
How did they do that?
Well, they forced us into two corners of a street and wouldn't let us continue protesting. And then the next thing I know, they were pepper spraying half of the group. We were all just standing there watching them arrest people. And then all of a sudden the pepper spray, and then the gas bombs, and then the shot grenades. So then once that happened, it has gotten a little out of control here. There was a limo that the windows were all busted out and set on fire.
SUV.
Oh,
It was an SUV.
Oh, I've been saying limo this whole time.
Yeah.
So that was a little crazy. Thankfully, I have not been hit by any of the pepper spray, but I did have to pour my Lanta in a guy's eyes who was.
You packed some Mylanta?
Yeah.
You came
just
prepared.
for that. Yeah.
And did you tell us your name, sir?
I'm Brian Wagner. Yeah.
Wagner.
Mhm.
Okay. And you live in New York City, and
I
you
do.
came down just for the inauguration?
Yeah, I got in yesterday, and then I'll be here for the Women's March tomorrow as well.
And what do you expect to accomplish with your presence here?
Well, I can be here, and so I want to be here, and I know a lot of people who can't, and so by me being here, they can, in a sense, live vicariously through me, and I show them my support, and they show me theirs. So it's a lot of that. I'm realistic. I understand that me being here is not going to change that Trump was elected, but we do need to keep him in check and not just give him free rein and become complacent.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about, how you're feeling on the first day of a Donald Trump presidency?
Well, I think that this is a good example of what we have to look for the next 4 years. I don't think that we're going to stop or calm down anytime soon. Again, I don't think we should become complacent.
And do you think it's okay that things have turned violent here at the protest?
No. I don't think that it's accomplishing our goal. But I do think that on today, it was expected to get this heightened. Yes.
Why is that?
Because it is the inauguration day.
And so people are...
Because tomorrow's the Women's March, and I feel like that one is a lot more going to be organized peacefully. I know people are bringing kids and families. So I think that's more of a movement, and we need to show solidarity with that. But this was a lot more of an active, we're going to stop the streets and march.
And was this organized in any way?
Yeah.
By who? How did you find out about
Workers.org is how I found it, and it was the Resist J20 was kind of their hashtag. So it was the Workers Union, I believe, is who started that.
And so that's how you followed, how you got to this location here. And are you with one particular group?
Nope.
No.
I came with some coworkers, but we aren't a group or anything.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
That kind of sums it up.
Thank you so much for your time. I
no
appreciate
problem.
it. Thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you. This woman is climbing this tree here. This man, sorry. Hi, sir. What are you doing? What are you doing? Getting a different view?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Mojik.
Rojik? Mojik.
Yes.
Are you a Trump supporter?
No.
No, he's not. How long have you been here at the protest so far?
I got into DC at 11 and I've been to a few different protests around the city.
So he got here to DC at 11. He marched from Columbus Circle to McPherson.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm repeating what you're saying because I'm not...
No, I understand. It must be hard to
hear. Yeah, exactly. So you've been protesting all day, essentially.
Yeah, and since Trump got elected.
Ever since Trump got elected. Oh, was that the plan, to start the protest?
I go to school in New Haven. I'm from New York, so I've been to protests.
He's from New York City.
Since
see. Well, thank you so much, sir. How long do you expect to stay out here?
Probably a few more hours.
A few more hours, he says. He wants to make sure.
Up here is
Part of the reason he's up on the tree is
it's important to have someone who can film what's going on.
it's important to have someone who can film what's going on. That's what he says. Are you filming from up there, sir?
If anything happens, I will be.
If anything happens, he's going to be filming. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Anyway, as you can see, it's getting dark here. As he said, he's going to stick around for a few more hours. I don't think that this protest is going to thin out anytime soon. Somehow, some of the people I saw throwing bricks and doing some of the vandalism and being violent, somehow they continue to evade the authorities and are still kind of lurking around. So I expect this to continue for a while, even after the sun sets. If you guys don't have any other questions, I guess I will be signing off. Thank you so much for joining us here. Oh, are you Donald Trump supporters?
Yeah, man. Sure, why
yes.
not?
And do you want
Total
to chat?
fascist victory.
Are you really Trump supporters?
We all
Yeah.
Half the country is. Yeah, total victory. We're here. We're out here. Welcome us. Get used to it.
Sir, I'm with the New York Times. I'm live on our Facebook page.
I don't know about that. Oh, cool. Put me on the front page.
Do you want to chat a little bit about your thoughts and what do you think about this protest?
I mean, it's a good time. I'm enjoying myself. It's nice out here.
Yes. Are you think it's okay?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice.
It's great.
I think it's great that the Electoral College delivered a victory to Donald Trump.
And what are your thoughts on the first day of his presidency? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
I'm loving the energy in the streets. I'm loving the fact that everybody is out here engaging in a democratic process. I love hearing from lefties. I love hearing from righties. This is a good time.
And can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from New York.
What part of New York?
Orange County.
And these are all of you come from the same place? And
They're from the city.
He's from Long Island, baby.
Long Island. And I guess all of you voted for Donald Trump. Did you vote in the election?
We did.
Yeah.
Very proudly, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on this protest right now? You're happy that people are engaging.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited that people are out here. I'm very excited that people are so enthusiastic about the results of the election. It's great. It's great to be out here in the streets. It's great to be seeing all, people from all over the country.
Are you concerned about some of the vandalism that's taken place here?
I think they should be thrown out of helicopters.
Yeah.
I think all the Antifa people should be picked up by right-wing death squads, and I think that they should be dealt with appropriately.
Are you inciting further violence?
No. I just think
Death
that
squads are not further violence.
law and order should be the number one priority, and anybody who steps outside of those bounds and decides to start breaking windows and causing any unnecessary violence should be dealt with appropriately, whether that means being thrown into jail or thrown out of a helicopter.
One may be a little more cruel than the other.
Any of the things that he just said.
Okay, this man does not agree.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't like throwing
he doesn't
people
like
out of
it,
helicopters.
but
Have you ever done it before?
Jim says I'm not hardcore because I don't like.
yeah, he's not hardcore enough. So
I'm not that hardcore either.
And can you tell me your names?
yeah, my name is James.
James what?
My name is James.
James.
That's all
okay.
you're getting.
All right, that's fine. I was waiting to see if anybody asked any questions because this is a live stream, but I don't see.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you.
Okay, so one person has a question about
No,
healthcare.
I don't care about them. So
Okay.
talk to you later.
All right, thank you, James. I appreciate your time. Thank you. So, hi, sir.
Hello.
I don't. I'm sorry.
I have a YouTube channel.
You
so
look a little. I'm sorry. You look a little bit young.
He's 18.
And I'm sorry. You look a little too young, and we've gotten.
Good, don't worry about it.
It's best not to.
You good.
Thank you so much. Sorry, that I would have shown you the young man, but he was incredibly young, and we try to avoid talking to minors, especially about sensitive political issues. So better to be safe than to be sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Deborah Costa.